Welcome to the Freaky Stories podcast. Ready for your daily dose of the strange and unbelievable?
Always.
Okay, good. Because today we've got two addictive flash fiction stories that will leave you questioning reality. Seriously. Buckle up, because these freaky probes are about to begin.
Lay 'em on me.
First up, a crime novelist whose fictional plots become terrifyingly real.
Oh, I love those meta-narratives.
Right. It's like that old saying, write what you know, but in this case, it's more like, write what will be.
Uh-oh, that sounds ominous.
It is. Meet Stan, washed-up crime novelist struggling to get published. He's just finished this diamond heist manuscript, convinced it's his masterpiece. But his editor, Emily, calls, not with good news.
Another rejection. Out.
Another rejection. The feedback, it lacks realism.
Well, some irony, right?
Well, the irony gets cranked up to 11 just 3 weeks later. A real diamond heist goes down, and guess what? Every detail, down to the decoy alarm and the pizza van getaway, is straight out of Stan's unpublished novel.
No
way. Emily, understandably freaking out, shows up at Stan's place, waving the newspaper, demanding answers. You can practically hear her. Stan, is this you? The decoy alarm? The pizza van? What is happening?
I mean, at that point, wouldn't you assume he was somehow involved?
Absolutely, but hold on, because it gets even weirder. This wasn't a one-off. Stan writes about a stolen Van Gogh. Boom. Headlines the next week. Museum robbery, Van Gogh gone. Then he comes up with this insane armored truck heist involving sneezing powder and a crew of clowns, and, no joke, days later, a similar incident hits the news. It's like his typewriter has become some kind of bizarre crime prediction machine.
Okay, that's seriously freaky.
Freaky doesn't even cover it. Emily, bless her, goes full-on detective mode. We hear her usually immaculate hair is now permanently in a flyaway bun from all the stress.
I can picture it. The sensible editor turned into a conspiracy theorist. Love it.
And then Stan has this. Well, I don't know if it's brilliant or completely insane idea. Why not use his writing to predict and prevent future crimes?
Whoa, hold on. That's taking the whole write what Joe thing to a whole new level.
Right. But Emily, maybe out of desperation, maybe just because she's in too deep at this point, agrees. So they embark on this crazy new routine. They're scouting locations straight out of Stan's manuscripts, a snooty art collector's mansion with terrible security, a bank with, shall we say, questionable ventilation. They're playing detective, trying to stay one step ahead of the real criminals, and probably trying not to look completely suspicious to anyone watching.
I bet there were some awkward moments trying to explain why they're hanging around a bank with a measuring tape and binoculars.
Oh, definitely. Just admiring the architecture. Yes, the architecture.
Not suspicious at all.
And then we get to what has to be the most ludicrous scenario yet. Stan writes this absolutely bonkers story about a heist involving stolen historical manuscripts and a stampede of goats. Even Emily is like, Stan, this is dumb, even for you.
Coats.
These goats. But, you guessed it, the universe decides to double down on the weird. They get a call. A goat-related manuscript theft. And to add insult to injury, or maybe hoof to, whatever, a librarian got mildly trampled.
Okay, hold on. So we're in a world where a crime writer is predicting the future, and the future includes a goat heist.
That's where we are, and it's the specifics that make it so creepy. Not just any theft, but goats, manuscripts, a librarian getting trampled. It's too much of a coincidence.
It does make you wonder if there's something more going on, like Stan's tapped into some weird psychic wavelength or something.
Right, so they rush to the library expecting chaos, but it's eerily silent. No sirens, no shouting, just this unsettling aftermath. Stan with his fictional blueprint of the crime, and Emily clutching a copy of War and Peace because, of course, she is Venture Inside.
I'd love to see that security footage.
Oh, same here. And who do they find as the mastermind? A disgruntled former library assistant in a shockingly realistic goat costume.
Of course, it's a disgruntled former library assistant in a goat costume. What else could it be?
The description of the ensuing chase is just glorious. Stan tackling goats, Emily throwing books and yelling historical trivia, and the goat-suited villain finally brought down by an avalanche of overdue notices. Pure comedic gold.
It sounds like something out of a Monty Python sketch.
Exactly. And the aftermath is just as wild. The goat burglar incident, as it becomes known, makes Stan and Emily unlikely heroes. Stan's books, now marketed as eerily prophetic, become instant bestsellers. And Emily, she gets a reality TV deal.
Wow, so they both kind of won in the end.
They did. And Stan, inspired by his real-life crime-fighting adventures, starts plotting his next novel. As he puts it, sometimes the best way to plot a heist is to plan how to stop one.
He's got a point. Real-life experience like that must be a goldmine for a writer.
Okay, ready for Freaky Probe number 2. This one's about two friends, Mike and Charlie, who are, shall we say, not exactly qualified for their new job. We're talking barely passed high school biology and faked our way through college level of unqualified.
Uh-oh, this sounds like trouble.
Big trouble. Somehow they're mistaken for paleontologists and put in charge of a dinosaur theme park called Dinotopia.
Wait, what? How does that even happen?
Honestly, that's the least weird part of the story. So, day one on the job, they're looking at the feeding schedule and see the T-Rex is down for live goats.
Yeah.
And their first thought is, wait a minute, weren't these guys more into scavenging?
Oh no, that doesn't sound good.
It's not. The T-Rex, apparently not a fan of their dietary advice, breaks out of its enclosure, which is described as a flimsy pen.
I'm starting to sense a theme here of things not being built to code.
You're picking up what I'm putting down. So it's full-blown panic mode. Mike, wielding a broom and some surprisingly accurate T-Rex trivia he probably got from watching Jurassic Park too many times, manages to distract the beast. Meanwhile, Charlie is frantically Googling dinosaur calming techniques. Spoiler alert, playing dead is not recommended.
You think?
Yeah.
I feel like that would be a recipe for becoming a very large, very extinct pancake.
Exactly. Their whole management style quickly becomes a series of increasingly desperate improvisations. Bored raptors, dino-themed laser tag, stegosaurus with a rash, giant petting zoo, emphasis on the giant distance. And those two are starting to get a little suspicious of the whole operation. Oversized dino plushies and promises of a pterodactyl flight experience that definitely does not exist.
It's like they're running a prehistoric kindergarten with a side of existential dread.
Pretty much. And of course, the media catches wind of this whole mess. Headlines start popping up like Dinotopia, theme park, or lawsuit waiting to happen.
I mean, it sounds like a disaster waiting to happen.
You'd think so, right? But here's the twist. The dinosaurs actually seem to like them, and get this, a panicked off-key rendition of the Jurassic Park theme song apparently calms a stressed-out velociraptor.
Okay, now that's just bizarrely endearing. Maybe there's something to be said for clueless enthusiasm.
Right. But the whale test comes when the actual dinosaur expert, Dr. Grant, yes, that Dr. Grant shows up for a surprise inspection. Picture this. Flickering bioluminescent lights, a T-Rex wearing a party hat from the petting zoo, and Mike sweating bullets as he launches into this nonsensical speech about groundbreaking behavioral research and stress reduction techniques through interpretive dance.
Oh, I would pay good money to see that. Dr. Grant's face, the interpretive dance, the bewildered dinosaurs.
Pure comedy gold. But here's the biggest twist of all. Dr. Grant isn't horrified, he's intrigued. The dinosaurs are, against all odds, healthy and relatively calm, even in their makeshift enclosures. He actually offers them funding and real scientists in exchange for sharing their unique methods.
That's amazing. So their cluelessness accidentally led to a scientific breakthrough?
Apparently so. Dinotopia reopens with even more bizarre attractions, a cuddle raptor zone, T-Rex limbo, a stegosaurus bouncy castle, and people love it.
It's like the ultimate triumph of the underdog. Or maybe the under-paleontologist.
Exactly. Mike and Charlie get honorary PhDs in dino wrangling. You can't make this up and continue their chaotic reign. The park is still a walking, or should I say stomping, disaster waiting to happen, but it's thriving, full of laughter and surprisingly chilled-out dinosaurs. Maybe a lack of expertise, a whole lot of audacity, and a mountain of plushies is the secret to managing the unpredictable. Who knew?
It's a beautiful thought, isn't it? Sometimes, not knowing what you should do can lead to the most amazing discoveries.
It makes you wonder, doesn't it? What do you make of these flash fiction stories? The crime writer predicting the future, the clueless duo running a dinosaur park. It's a wild ride. Are there hidden forces shaping our reality? Can incompetence sometimes be a blessing in disguise?
These stories really make you think about the boundaries of reality, the power of the human mind, and the unexpected paths life can take.
Imagine your wildest thoughts becoming real, or finding yourself in charge of something you have absolutely no clue how to manage. What would you do? Would you embrace the chaos?
It's a fascinating thought experiment. And who knows, maybe there's a little Mike and Charlie in all of us, just waiting for the right opportunity to stumble into greatness.
We'd love to hear your thoughts. Have you ever experienced bizarre coincidences, unexpected success, or just plain weirdness that defies explanation? Share your stories. Maybe they'll become a future Freaky Probe. Rate and follow the Freaky Stories podcast for more addictive tales of the unbelievable. Until next time, keep it freaky.
And stay curious.